Got off to a slow start at the plate, and then you 9 runs in the 6th and 7th inning. Just kind of what was the difference there?
You know, I think the kid that they started is going to be pretty dang good. I mean, McLaughlin was not our exact starter. We kind of used an opener there with Leith, but for a minute there, you had 2 freshmen that I think have great potential. And, you know, our guys also landed on some balls earlier and hit them to the wrong part of the park. Today, if you hit it to left field, it was going to carry, but anywhere else, it was going to hang up a little bit. I know Liam Spence in particular, for a thin guy, he's not an imposing figure, but he's got some sock in that bat, and he hit that ball about as well as he could to right center early on in the game, but it got caught at the wall because of the wind. So like anything, I think it was a combo of factors.
Al, on a little bit of a slow start to this season, what was it like seeing him get his first home run?
Yeah, it was good for him, and Russell too is in that category. I mean, Russell hit his to the deepest part of the park. Alaric, the best part about his, if you were to see the replay, there was almost no effort to the whole thing. And all of his swings have been over swings. There's been a lot of effort trying to make it happen and be the leader of the offense and all those things. And took a nice, easy swing, and that's what was going on in pregame too. It was one of those batting practice days for him and Russell. You knew something good was going to happen, and so both of them, you know, doing that kind of gives a little sense of relief.
Another RBI double for Zach today in the 3rd inning, and what's been working so well for Zach's game this start?
I think he's in a much better position to hit. I mean, there's so many things that have gone into him getting better. He's a totally different player than he was when he first got here. As a matter of fact, I don't think he was a baseball player when he first got here. He was just a really good athlete, you know, who aspired to be a good baseball player. And now he does a lot of things well, and one of them is he's consistently in a good position to hit. Whereas last year he had a million check swings or was out front and different goofy stuff like that, and now he's a pretty well-rounded hitter. We're fortunate to have him with us.
What about from a mentality standpoint with Zach? I mean, he had 12 RBIs already on the season, and 31 games. He had 10 last year, I think.
I think he's a little bit more in attack mode mentally, and then too with just his presence, he's a little more relaxed. You know, I don't think he's reached Steph Curry, you know, mode or anything like that yet, but it's a much more cool, calm, and collective sort of approach, whereas we would even kind of joke in the dugout freshman year, you could see some tendencies in there that he wasn't sure of himself or wasn't 100% comfortable in his skin. So I think he's got that comfortable presence, you know, or quality presence every day, the way he goes about things. And then when he's in the box, you can see he's looking to punish the baseball or attack the baseball, whereas the first 2 years, a little more tentative.
Y'all are hitting the ball with a little bit more power this year. I guess, how much more dangerous do you think this lineup is than the one y'all had a year ago?
It's tough to compare because schedules and timing are different. But I think 1 through 9, I think we're better. Because last year, you know, we had to rely on some guys, freshmen in particular, and some guys who weren't as physical as they are now. Now I think up and down the lineup, almost everybody can run pretty well, and everyone's pretty physical and has the ability to drive the ball, and if it's a good day, drive it out of the park, but if not, for an extra base hit. So
I know it hasn't always been against the best competition so far this season, but the freshman pitching has just been so strong. Have you expected that big of a start from that group?
You know, a little bit. The one thing I've taken, you know, a sense of security in is they're a good group, but we don't have to rely on them. And that's what I was saying all the time, and maybe karma bit me in the keister, but with Sewell and Heff and Crochet and Rackers all down, next man up, and those guys have slid up and had to pitch a few more innings, and Deli and Mark did it. So they've showed what they can do, and I think the future's bright, but they've done a hell of a job stepping in for those guys and in those innings that have kind of opened up. And that means they're going to be more ready too when one of them gets tapped on the shoulder late in the year in a crucial spot. It's not going to be a wide-eyed situation for those guys.
At this point in the season, when you guys are beating the brakes off everybody right now, what's your message after these games? You know, when you meet in the outfield, what are you saying to these guys?
That was our shortest meeting of the year in the outfield because it was kind of cold out there at the end of the day. I'm glad we kind of moved today's game up. But our guys have kind of embraced cold weather. When we get, you know, in Texas on Friday against Tech, it was really cold. And then when it's, you know, raining, because we've got the field turf, they think it's fall weather. So whatever works for them, but we've got some stuff to talk about at practice tomorrow. And, fortunately they're young, and, I don't want to say they're young and dumb because their parents might hear me, but they're young and they're not that smart yet. So there's always something to cover and something they can do better. I saw Coach E grabbing some guys, going over base running things, even when the score was whatever it was at the very end. And then I told them out there too. I mean, Cody Davidson finished that game, and I know the score is what it was, but that ball was coming out hot, and he threw about as well as you can throw. So now maybe he slides up ahead of a guy, and he'll get an opportunity. And somebody else may do the opposite. Maybe they slide down. So this is 56 games, and it's a sprint. It's not a big league season where it is a marathon. We're all trying to, win as many games as we can and have as many good weeks as we can because there's only so many in the season. So guys are constantly sliding up and down in different roles, and so there's a little motivation too right there for them.
Two more questions for Coach, guys. Right now, it seems like Pete can't even stop it, even if he tries.
Yeah, don't. The locker room's right there. You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Is it seeming like he's going to stay as like a really big pinch hitter? Or are you going to try and like maybe rotate him a little more?
No, I think he's got the ability to play left field, first base, and catch, and that's why we kind of called him Schwarber our first year. And I don't know if he's quite Schwarber status yet, but he's hitting like it, and it's the same for every team across the country. I haven't looked at too many things, but you got some guys that are really hot, and some guys, we mentioned a couple of them today, just struggling to kind of find it, and all those things are based off the numbers. The bottom line is with Pete, you're always going to have preparation there. He's always going to be a good teammate, and he's always going to give you a quality effort at the plate. Now, whether he gets a hit or not, who knows? I mean, George Brett's retired, so no one's going to go up there and get a hit every other at-bat for a whole season, but the guy's really, really good off the bench, and there'll be a time or two when he starts this year, if not more. So I think he'll stay consistent with how he goes about it. The results, will fluctuate a little bit, but he's going to have a good year.
Asheville got the chance to sneak in a run there late at the end. Does that value of not having that blowout or not having that zero on the board change the game's perspective?
No, I mean, I know some teams will do the pitchers get batting practice if there is a shutout. We don't do that. I want Coach Elander to be able to go home and spend time with his new baby, so we don't let those pitchers in there hitting too much. But, all kidding aside, I think you want to take pride in every inning. You want to win the inning. And in that particular inning, we give up a run there. But, that was the first time Mabry had gone back-to-back days. And we really just wanted him to get the lefty out, and the kid did a nice job, a good piece of hitting. So then we gave him a little leeway so he could get some more action and then, turn the ball over to Cody. But, it's important for freshmen like Mabry to continue to get experience, like I said, so they're ready in really crucial moments. And some of those guys have already had to pitch in those type of moments, like McLaughlin and Delhi the last 2 days.